Hi, I'm Kevin from Gemini Outdoors, and this is the system eval of the Stealth Camping System version 1, the Stansport Scout Tent version. Just to set the record straight, I'm not going to be getting into so much detail in just with the eval part of this. If you want to see the details of the testing and of the system itself, please continue to watch the test footage that I shot after this. I'm including that in the video as well. But overall, I think the system did very well for the conditions that it was tested in. This is probably the most brutal test I will ever put anything through. And I can say that the system performed very well in those conditions. Like I said, by the time I'd gotten out of that tent the night that the snowstorm hit, and here in Alabama we don't get much of a chance to see snow that often. We've seen a little bit more here lately, but when you get a snowstorm like that, it is very rare. So, and we don't deal with it very much, and you can tell that I don't deal with it very much either. Doing camping stuff, most of the time when I'm camping, I'm dealing with rain, and that's just about it. But my overall score for it would be, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 on the system. I think there are some things that could be improved with it, but really with the tent, and you're dealing with the stealth camping situation, the only really gripe I have about it is being able to get it up in a hurry and get out of there. And I think that's the biggest reason why I marked down on the overall score was, it's going to be a little bit difficult. It's more designed for concealment than it is maneuverability. So being able to get out of a place real quick with that is definitely probably not going to happen. So you're going to have to rely on camouflage and good scouting of a location when you're using this particular system. But I hope you continue to watch the test footage from this point on. It gets into great detail about what's in the system and how it performs and the actual test itself. Hi, and welcome to Gemini Outdoors. Today we are going to be conducting a stealth camp system evaluation. Stealth camping has really caught on the last few years as a alternative to just regular camping and backpacking. And I was just wanting to show you my stealth camping system. There are other people out there on YouTube that I've noticed and have really elaborate stealth camping systems, and I just wanted to show you how mine works. So with stealth camping and hiking or anything outdoors, one of your primary systems that you're going to be using is your clothing. It serves as your first shelter. Clothing serves two purposes in stealth camping. First is concealment, and second is protection from the elements. If I'm stealth camping, I'm always going to be dressed in a camouflage type getup. Now you can use multicam like the Army uses or digicam, or you can even use woodland camouflage such as hunters use. It's all good. You can use it, pretty much all the time. I go more with a woodland type camo just because you're going to be in the woods. It just makes more sense to me. But the multicam, you can get away with it too. The second reason is, of course, for protection from the elements. So usually I'll carry me like a fleece shirt like this. As you can see, it's in multicam, and other stuff to protect me, especially in wintertime from the cold, and then in the summertime from the heat. You want a base layer that will protect you mainly from sweat. It's not really, your base layer is not really for like rain or anything like that, or moisture from the atmosphere. It's more for getting your sweat away from your body, not letting the sweat freeze. So a good base layer is always a really good idea. I would use a polyester or a artificial type of synthetic material I wouldn't use cotton, or 100% cotton anyway. Thermal layer, and then your barrier layer. Your barrier layer is to keep, rain mainly from the area of the country I live in. We don't really deal with a lot of snow, so I would actually prefer to deal with snow than I would rain, because rain just seems to get in everything. Alright, the first pack that I'm going to be using is one that I'm going to be using all the time, no matter what I'm doing in stealth camping, and that's going to be my front pack. The reason I'm carrying a front pack is because I might have to get the stuff really quick, and in order to do that, I don't want to be taking the backpack off all the time. Now, this pack here I bought from Gander Mountain. You can use it as a backpack, a small backpack, or you can use it as a front pack, and I'm going to be using this as a front. Let's see, let me get into the pockets here and I'll show you what I got in here. Nothing in that one yet. I got a good set of binoculars in here. That's just in case I need to get a close-up eye on something that might be coming my way that I need to deal with. Always a good idea to have a good set of optics, because it serves in your scouting role as well. Whenever you're doing a stealth camp, not only, you don't want to just walk into a place not knowing what's going on there. You always want to scout the place out and know if there's a lot of human activity going on in there. You want to be especially vigilant for game cameras. Those are another thing that can get you busted real quick in stealth camping. So I always, I always have a recon phase in my plan, in my stealth camping plan. I'll always kind of scout the area out from a distance first to see if there's a lot of activity going in and out of the place, and then I will go in there and get real close, go into the woods to where I'm planning on camping, or I have a campsite selected. And what I'm doing is I'm going to go in there with my binoculars. I'm going to check out the trees. I'm going to see if I can see any of these cameras. Now, what you want to look for when you're looking for cameras isn't necessarily the camera themselves, because the cameras usually are camouflaged like this. So what you want to do is you want to look on the trees for the straps that they usually strap, that people strap these cameras to these trees, and those will stand out because they're a straight line basically, and straight lines stand out in nature. So that's what the binoculars are for. And of course, if you're if you've settled down and everything and you hear something from a distance and you want to throw your binoculars up to see if there's maybe somebody walking your way or something coming your way that you need to know about, that's always a good idea to have a good set of binoculars. Moving along to the next pocket, I carry a multi-tool with me. Some people may or may not carry one with them. I think it's always a good idea to have one around. In this pocket here, I have a headlamp, and we're going to get into that in the next few videos. I do carry a headlamp with me. I actually have two headlamps that I will carry with me, but I'm only going to use this one in case of an emergency. So that's in that pocket there. Now let's get to these main pockets. In this front pocket here, I always carry a good bushcraft knife. I wouldn't necessarily, when I'm stealth camping, be carrying it on my hip. I'd always want to keep it concealed, deep concealed. And for you guys out there, it's always a dumb idea if you're going to be doing stealth camping to be carrying weapons on your side, whether it be a gun or it be a knife. I always try to keep my knives and stuff. I might carry a folding knife or something like that in my pocket, but it's going to be concealed as well. It's just a bad idea. You might run into somebody who might think that you're a little off, for carrying something like that. So I'd always keep my weapons concealed. And where it comes to firearms, I don't think I really want to carry a firearm when I'm stealth camping. It's just not a good idea. Going over here to this main pocket now, I carry my waterproof box for my camera. This is going to be where I store my camera and stuff like that for making videos for y'all guys for YouTube. So a good waterproof box is always a good idea, especially while I'm storing it inside this pouch, or this pack. Excuse me. A plastic bag for when I have the camera up on the tripod. I can just slip this over the top of it, and that way I protect it if it starts raining or something. It's protected from the elements. Got to protect the camera. And also up here I have a very abbreviated first aid kit, level 1 first aid kit. This is for very minor wounds or something, you know, scrapes, cuts, stuff of that nature. I also have some super glue in there just to, if in case I have to, you know, close a wound. It's in there handy where I can grab it real quick on the front. So that deals with the front pack, and we're going to be moving on to the scout pack now. Okay, the next pack I'm going to be using is in my scouting role, in my recon phase of my stealth camping. This is my my scout pack, and with it, I'm really not needing a lot of room because I'm not going to be planning on carrying a lot of stuff. Mainly just a set of binoculars and stuff like that. Maybe a jacket or something. I'm not going to be taking a lot of stuff with me when I'm scouting. I might take some water bottles or something, you know, to keep me hydrated. These are empty. I just put these in here for just demonstration purposes only. This pack has quite a few. It has pretty good storage area considering. Up here we have the top pocket. You could put something in here, maybe some paper or something, take notes with, or some small stuff. Then you have another compartment down here along the front that you can keep stuff in. It's got 2 little pockets on the inside of it. You have another pocket right here that kind of clips. You can probably keep some stuff in here. Like I said, this is just going to be used as, there ain't going to be much carried in this. Like I said, maybe a jacket, maybe a set of binoculars or something like that. Here's the main compartment. And in it, I have a little trowel to dispose of things, and it has a little mesh pocket here in the top of it as well, so you can put something in here if you need to and keep it protected from the elements. Like I said, when you're doing your recon stuff, this is going to mainly be used when I'm doing my real close recon, when I actually go into the woods and I'm looking around. Mainly looking for game cameras and evidence of human activity in the area. I highly suggest that during your scouting phase and your recon phase, that if you go into an area and you're sitting there and you're thinking, hey man, this area looks really good, you know, and you get in there and all of a sudden you start finding bottles laying around, you start finding trash laying around, or you start, you know, seeing signs of human activity like that, I highly suggest that you don't camp that particular location. You need to just find you a different location altogether, because more likely if there's stuff like that in the area, more likely people have been there and people are going to be coming back. If you find a game camera, same thing, just get out of there. Don't camp in that area, just get out, because more likely somebody's going to be coming back to that area, and there's also a chance that there might be more than one camera and you're not seeing one of them and it's taking pictures of you. And that's one of the best ways to get caught stealth camping, is to get caught on a game camera. And we'll be moving on now to the final pack, the actual stealth camping pack itself. This will be the last pack that we'll be using. This is the actual stealth camping pack. If you've seen one of my earlier videos, I was using this for a survival system, but it's not going to be using that role anymore. This is going to be my primary stealth camping pack and my wife's hiking backpack, and when we decide to do some overnight excursions and stuff into the wild. I'm just going to show you the outside of the bag first. Of course, you notice I got my sleeping pad down here at the bottom. It's too big to fit inside, so I had to strap it to the bottom. A helpful hint, or tip, excuse me, go to Walmart and buy some Velcro straps. They keep them in the craft section. They're only like $2, but man, these things are really handy when it comes to strapping stuff to your packs. And they're pretty strong too. Also on the outside pockets here, I keep my water bottles. You're going to be packing all your food and water in. Remember, you're not going to, once you get to your stealth camping site, you don't want to be walking around. You don't want to be, doing things that's going to draw attention to yourself. So you want to you want to get in there, set up, and get settled in. And you're also going to want to do that, later on in the evening, and not be, stuck there all day either. So, and I suggest that if you're going to do the stealth camping thing, get in, set up, and then get out the next morning as quick as you can. So I'm going to pack in my water. Both of these outside pockets are going to have my water for me. So I've got some water bottles stuck in there on this side and on the other side. Right here in the middle pocket, let me take this off as well. Get ahead of myself here. I also bring a toboggan, especially in the winter time, and a hat. And the reason I carry the hat with me is camouflage, of course. All my stuff's camouflage. Or if you can't get the camouflage, get flat colors, kind of like this olive drab or flat dark earth, stuff like that works pretty good too. But this also has my light that I'm going to be using, my primary light source, which is, if you notice, it's green. There's a reason why I'm going to be using the green light. It's because it doesn't travel as far as white light does, and I'll give you a demonstration of that in here just a little bit. So I got another pocket right here that I keep a small shovel in and a saw in, just in case I need to clear some brush out. It also has a little extender handle on it. So let me put this stuff back in here. And the shovel is mainly to bury stuff, you know, such if you got to go, you know, sometimes you just got to go. Dig you a hole and go in it and cover it up. You don't want to leave any trace. That's why it's called stealth camping. You don't want to leave a trace. If you've been there and if somebody sees a big pile of you know what out there in the woods, they're going to know you've been there. Moving on now to the top pocket. You want to keep stuff in here you want to get to really quick. I keep my food in here, and you want to carry something in there such as this. I keep my stuff in different little bags. You want stuff that you don't want to cook out there. Contrary to popular belief amongst some stealth campers, you don't want to set a fire, even a small one, because if you're cooking something, people can smell that. That smell will travel a long distance, whether you believe it or not, it will. And it's going to attract not only humans, because you know you're standing out in the woods and all of a sudden you're getting a whiff of sausage and biscuits. You're like, what the heck is that doing out here? You're going to go people are going to get curious. They're going to go investigate. Well, not only that, but animals as well. And the last thing you want is a bear or a coyote. Around here it's coyotes mostly. Foxes, possums, raccoons. They're gonna come looking for whatever's making that smell. So I always take stuff that you don't have to cook. Pop-Tarts is a good idea. Energy bars, granola bars, and then I carry packets of sugar with me. And there's a reason why I do that. I have a medical condition that I keep a little bit of sugar on me all the time. Next thing, of course, I have a level 1 heavy duty first aid kit where I can get to it real quick. This one's got blood stoppers in it. I call them blood stoppers. My wife calls them maxi pads, so go figure. Just a guy thing. But I also have all kinds of bandages in there, more super glue for wound closure, just in case you happen to get a major wound. You want to be able to close that thing up real quick. A fire kit, and in this fire kit I have lighters. I have a small fire steel, matches, and I have some of these. It's like trioxane, but I forgot. There's all kinds of names for them, but anyway, it's just a chemical block in there that will light. Pretty much, even if they're wet, they'll light. So it's always a good idea to have those in there. Just in case of emergency, like I said, I'm not going to be starting a fire unless it's just an absolute emergency. And then I will have one more headlamp, just in case I need it. Speaking of that, I'm going to give you a demonstration of what I'm talking about now. Let me load this stuff back in here. And I always try to keep my first aid kit towards the front. That way I can get to it real quick. You don't want to stuff it back there where you got to dig for it. This is a very important item in case you get hurt, and I hope you don't. Always play it on the safe side, especially when it comes to anything in life, but especially for that. So let me get on to this demonstration I've been telling you about. Whenever you're stealth camping, and I'll get to the internals here in a minute. Whenever you're stealth camping, one of the most important things is you don't want to broadcast where you're at. And if you're in the woods, the reason I want to use a green light, and I'm going to show it to you here. There's your green light. Here's your white light. Take a look and see which one you can see easier. See what I'm saying? The white light travels a lot further and it's a lot brighter, so you want to use green or red. I prefer green. Even on the low setting, you can still see this still stands out much more than this does. So that kind of gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. You don't want to get out there and be broadcasting where you're at with a fire or with a really bright white light, whether it's a flashlight or anything else. So let's get to the inside of this bag real quick and then we'll be done. Right here on the top, as you can see, it's got a cinch thing. I have my rain jacket. It also serves a thermal purpose. It has a little thermal insulation in it. Not much, but it does. I also have in here, and I'll just get them from right here. I have a face mask, or a face cover. If you notice, the outside of it is, of course, camouflage. Another thing on your clothing, you don't want bright colors like this orange. See the orange of the inside this mask, it's reversible, you can flip it out, but you see how it stands out? You don't want that in your clothing either, so you want, like I said, either camouflage or you want flat, dark colors. But I would wear this, once I go in the woods, I'm going to throw one of these on, just in case you do happen up on a game camera. It's always a good idea to have a face cover on, that way they can't see your face. But also this, it's wintertime right now here, so I'm going to throw this on while I'm asleep more likely, and that keeps cold air from getting in your ears and your nose and your throat. And what that does is it stops you from getting, sometimes it'll stop you from getting sick. It ain't going to stop a virus, but it might stop something like a bacterial infection. If you let your sinuses and stuff dry out or your throat dry out, I usually find that I get sick. So I carry this and I keep myself warm with that. A good set of gloves, camouflage or black preferably. You can also get them in the dark earth or the flat earth colors. That's what I would go with. Let's get back to this. An item of convenience that I'm going to carry with me is going to be a small pillow. This is just an old hunting pillow that you can sit on while you're out. Got quite a few of them laying around. I'm going to take this with me to lay my head on, because I don't know about y'all, but I don't want a crick in my neck when I wake up. And I have slept like that before in the past on a camping trip where I just laid there with no pillow at all, and I woke up one heck of a crick in my neck. And I'm not going to go through that again. So let's get this stuff out. It's stuffed in here real good. I'm going to let these compression straps out. This little stuff sack right here, I got a little fleece blanket. It's to help out with my sleep system, keep me warm at night. That'll probably come in handy. I have my sleeping bag here. This is not a very big sleeping bag. It's more or less a warm weather sleeping bag, but I'm going to try it out for cold and use the blanket and see if I can keep myself. I'm also going to be wearing clothes too. I'm not going to be stripping down naked to sleep in this thing. And I'm not going to be probably getting out of my clothes at all. I'm probably going to keep most of my clothes on and try to save me a little space with this smaller bag. And then, last but certainly not least, is my tent. This is a Stand Sport Scout tent. It's an A-frame tent. It's a one-person bivvy tent. As you can see, I got my little Velcro straps. Those are real handy about compressing stuff down, keeping it stuff that's rolled up. And this thing, I'm going to be trying this out later on. It's going to be in this video. I'm going to show how all this stuff works together, and try to give y'all a good system eval on this. So that's pretty much it as far as the stealth camp pack. and I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Okay, this is the first test of the stealth camping system. Kind of walking up and down the road here. I want to see how the pack carries and everything. Hopefully my neighbors don't look at me like I'm too stupid doing this, but you know, it's I don't want to get out there in the woods and do it. So not yet anyway. Like I said, I want to test this thing while I'm real close. So that's what I'm doing right now, and everything seems to be going pretty well, all except my sleeping pad seems to be bouncing around a little bit, but I've tightened it up as tight as it's going to go, and it seems like it's just going to do it, so there ain't no way around it.
Coming out of the Birmingham area, and that's going to be moving into Albertville, Boaz, Douglas, and Arab, as well as Coleman, and their Eval at Southern Morgan County once again. So even though the snow is letting up a little bit in the area, it's going to be picking up.
Outside.
Want to let you know, if you're having trouble with your satellite signal, chances are you've got snow accumulating on your satellite dish, and if you can reach it.
Hi folks, well this is an impromptu video. I wasn't planning on doing this, but as you can see, it's snowing here in the southeast, so you don't get very many opportunities like this to test your equipment out, and that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on setting up my stealth camping equipment, which includes the StanSport scout tent or bivy tent, and that's what the main thing I want to test out, because I just put some waterproofer on it, and I wanted to see if it could hold up against the snow. I'm also going to be testing out my sleep system in this. So what I'm planning on doing tonight is I'm planning on putting this thing up, and I'm going to stay out here for a few hours in this. This is supposed to last all night long, so it's going to be a pretty good test of this system to see if it works. So I'm going to bring you back once I get the tent up and everything, and I'll show you around. Alright, so there it is, the StanSport scout tent. Got the sides all put out over here, staked out. It's ready to go. We already got a few, like maybe a couple inches on the ground already. Like I said, we don't get this much here in the south, so it took me a few minutes to put this thing up. So you can see I'm right beside the house. I don't want to get too far away. So there it is. We're going to see how it does if it stays dry on the inside. Okay guys, background noise of my kids having fun out in the yard. And as you can see, I've got my sleep system put in here. I did get some snow in there. I was trying to keep it as dry as I could. So if there's a little bit of water in there, that's the reason why. Seems to be shedding the snow pretty good. So but there's my sleep system. I could tell a big difference on that pad right there being on it to being over there in the corner off of it while I was setting everything up. So that was definitely a good buy. There's the sleeping bag and the liner and my little pillow. So I will be coming back out here to test it out, the sleep system out, here in a little bit. There's my boy. I'm making a video. What are you doing? Are you playing in the snow? Yep. Let's see. Are you playing in the snow? Yep, there you are. You're playing in the snow. Daddy. Yeah, look at you. What are you doing? I'm just making a video. Yeah. But anyway, there's my boy. And here's my tent. And like I said, I'll be in here in probably a couple hours, and I'm going to lay in here for a little while and see if this is enough to keep me warm during the night. So, and then we're going to see if this thing is waterproof or not. Alright, so I hope you guys can see me. I've been laying in this thing now for a few minutes, get myself all cozied up, and I can report one thing. The ATSCO waterproofer did not work. There is condensation in here. It's not from me breathing, I don't believe. It was already that way when I got in here. So I believe that that's just from the snow melting, and there's a pretty good little bit of water coming through the fabric. So I'm gonna have to use the other stuff that I got and waterproof this thing real good. Other than that, my only complaint, I mean, it's a little small and cramped, but other than that, I mean, it's not bad at all. I'm going to stay in here for a little while longer, and then I will give you an update once I get out here in a couple hours. I just want to see if the sleeping bag and the sleep system will keep me warm in here for an extended period of time. I believe it will. So far, so good, but I want the cold to be able to seep in here with me just to see, you know, what exactly it's going to do. So I'll check back in with you here in a little while. Okay, I just got back in from testing the Stealth Camp system, and overall, I think that the system did pretty good. Granted, this is a severe test. It's not every day where I live at that you get 6 inches of snow, and that's what we got out there right now. 6 inches of snow that my kids are frolicking in as we speak and trying to destroy our house with the snowball fight. But anyway, let's get back to the test. Of course, I put it up and everything, and I did notice that I had some issues putting the tent up, particularly in the snow. I may have lost a few pieces of equipment, so I'm going to have to pay attention to that and come up with a better system of keeping my straps and stuff of that nature, you know, keeping up with it. That's one negative aspect of it. The biggest negative aspect of it was the fact that the water repellent that I was using, and let me show it to you, this stuff is ATSCO heavy duty water repellent. To me, it didn't do as good as I thought it should have done. There was water and condensation on the inside of it. Now, was that my breath? I don't think so. It seemed like it was already in there. So what I'm thinking is that maybe some of the snow may have melted a little bit and some of the water was seeping through the fabric. So, and in some places it was actually starting to kind of stream up and drip down. So, in my opinion, I don't think you should do that if you've treated it. And I treated that, and I treated my dome tent with the same product, so I'm probably going to be expecting the same results from that. What I'm planning on doing with that is I'm planning on redoing it eventually with this product that I got the other day. I've been seeing a lot of good stuff about this. This is Rust-Oleum's Never Wet. I'm planning on using this on my Rothco hammock, on the rain fly on it, to waterproof it. And we'll see how that does first on the Rothco tent, and I mean on the Rothco hammock, and then if it works on that, I'll treat the Stansport Scout tent with it as well. What I'm planning on doing, I'm planning on going out there tomorrow, if I have a chance tomorrow, and get me some water and pour some water on it and to see how it reacts to that and see if it comes through. If it comes through, then I know that it's the water repellent. Just didn't work. Another negative was getting in and out of the tent. I think it would have been easier if the snow hadn't been there. Like I said, I'm not used to dealing with the snow, and I think it would have been a little bit easier there. I think I had a few things misplaced inside the tent. I had my pack down at the opening of the tent, so next time I probably need to put the pack down at the other end. My boots were kind of in the way, and what I ended up doing was as I was getting out, I'd already put my boots on and stuff, and as I was getting out, I knocked the support stake down, and I went and put it back up, and I tried to reset it, but I don't think I did a very good job of it, because when I look back, it fell again, and I know the snow didn't knock it down, because I just knocked the snow off the thing. So that was on me, and you know, ain't nothing much I can do about that, but I have to be careful about coming down there and not knocking that pole down, that support pole down. Let's see, other negative aspects, just space management inside that small tent. It's really cramped in there if you don't get your space managed well. One thing I noticed the camera itself was kind of in the way with the big tripod, so I'm gonna have to. I've got another tripod coming, and I think it's smaller, so I'm gonna try that. Or I can use this Joby tripod that I have. I actually got the camera on it right now. It's very small. I know it'll work in there. But the one that I was using, the bigger one, it just it wasn't happening. Like I said, you know, just putting the pack behind my head, that would probably save some space and stuff like that. The positive aspects, even with me saying that the tent, you know, complaining about the tent and the way it was, it actually performed really well. I mean, this tent is right now in something that it really wasn't designed for, and it's doing really well considering. I mean, this is probably the hardest test I'm ever going to put anything through. It would be a winter storm type of condition or whatever, you know, or winter weather. And I just happened up on this, you know, this winter storm come through right at the same time that I wanted. Like I said, you know, I really wasn't planning on doing this. It just presented itself, and I wanted to take full advantage of it and test out one of my systems in it. Like I said, I think the tent performed very well. You won't hear me really complaining. I'm more complaining about the water repellent than I am the tent. I think the tent actually did pretty good. Positive, the shining star of the entire test was the sleeping system. The sleep bag, the liner, and the pad, and the pillow, the small pillow. It did great, man. I was literally just, you know, falling asleep out there. I mean, I laid out there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I was catching myself going to sleep. I was so comfortable. I never got cold. I was very comfortable. My feet stayed really warm inside the sleep system. It 10 out of 10 on that. I mean, that was amazing. If there was some things to the tent I wish it had something where you could hang a lantern or a light up. It doesn't have anything on the inside. It's just a plain Jane tent, which that's what I got. So, but I wish it did have that. I might try to modify something and put up there, but probably not. Probably just leave it like it is and just deal with it. Trying to think of anything else right offhand that and I really can't. Like I said, I'm going to go out there off camera tomorrow. I'm not going to do this test on camera. I don't know. Maybe I will. I doubt it. I'm just going to take me a cup of water out there, and I'm just going to pour it on it and see if it comes through. If it comes through, then I know it's the water repellent's not doing its job. And like I said, if the Never Wet works good on the hammock, which I am going to be doing that pretty soon, I have some modifications and stuff to do to it, and working on some different suspension systems and stuff on it. But if it works on that, I'm definitely going to put it on this tent. Overall, I'd say it did good, did real good, and I'd say for what I'm going to put it through, like I said, what I'm putting it through is going to be nothing compared to this. The only thing that I'm worried about is if a storm comes up, a real heavy downpour of rain, and the tent leaking. So what I might have to do is add a ridgeline tarp type system in it to use as a rain fly, because the tent doesn't come with a rain fly. So I've got a camouflage tarp for that reason, you know. But I'm planning on using it for a hammock, but I might use that for the tent too, and hopefully it wouldn't take up too much space. And I don't believe it would, but I would much rather just run the tent by itself if I could. But I might have to run the tarp with it. So that's pretty much it. Y'all have a good one. Alright guys, I just wanted to show this to you. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and video this. I'm going to pour a little bit of water. If you can tell, I think that the waterproofer did work. The moisture that was inside the tent last night may have came from me. But let me see here. You can see the snow right there is melting already. Sun's out, so it's melting quick, and it is running off of this thing pretty good. So I got my bottle of water here, so let me pour a little water on this thing. And I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see what it does. It seems to shed it pretty good. So I might have put it on there where you couldn't have seen that, but it shed it pretty good. So maybe I jumped to conclusions on the waterproofer stuff, so that just goes to show you.